Hey guys, welcome to another week of Detox. It's been a long, hot week. The first week of July.
Hot American summer.
Look, even I love the heat. Even I was complaining it was so hot and humid. We had temperatures reaching 98 with 89% humidity. It was just a
This is the kind of girl
wet.
who be like, it's 80 degrees and she's hot. She'll like,
I got my jacket
I
on,
need
like
to have a comforter
little
or a
breeze
jacket or
scared.
something.
But right now, let me introduce you to our friend, a hot mama, about to turn it up for us.
A designer.
Creative stylist.
Creative director.
Welcome, Christina. Oh, well. What's your Instagram?
From the Amazon.
Ooh, check her out
Check her on IG
Hi, guys.
from the Amazon.
My Parisian
She
lady.
did my makeup today, by the way. My full face.
Aww. Thank you,
She
darling.
also did mine. Hello.
Like production work.
like
I
what?
smoke them
And also her own. Obviously.
all day, every day, but I'm like, I love to make
I
my
feel like
beauties look
she's
great.
giving us Wiz Khalifa vibe right now. Long, skinny.
Like, I wish it was fatter, but for right now, I'm gonna survive my broke nights. But hi guys.
So glad to have you with us.
Thank you for
today.
inviting me. Thank you for inviting me to your studio.
Oh, that's how dynamic.
Studio. So what's the topic for today?
Hashtag writing while black.
Riding while black. You heard it right.
Right.
Not driving while black.
Writing.
Also-
While back. But then
What
again,
we
you
gonna
gotta be
talk about
specific
that?
about the writing.
Not riding.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mom.
Hashtag
Riding
nasty.
the car. When you're a black person, how what's it like to ride in a car,
And get a
in
taxi.
a taxi, in a Lyft, or an Uber, right? There's a recent article, right, that is about one of the Teen Folk editors, Elaine
Welteroth. Welteroth.
Welteroth. Elaine Welteroth.
Okay.
That's how we work. She spells it, I say it.
It works.
I'm like, I'm listening.
No, what happened in the article is that she had a bad experience where an Uber driver assaulted her and then called 911 on her. So she recorded it on her Instagram movie thing. After the experience, she was talking about it, and this is what inspired us because Lee has had experiences, we've had experiences together. Tina would know what it's like, and we feel like this is 2018. Now we could get a taxi using our phone.
Anything, yeah.
We should not
Using
be
your phone.
fighting these
Subject,
biases and discriminatory practices.
Yes, and they banned her from the app
Uber. Yeah.
because the guy reported her. He said she hit
So
me.
now I guess the question becomes just like, where do we have the filters for the driver and the rider then?
Right.
It's a
It's like, who are
she
you
said.
saying to?
Yeah,
So the
because
story
at that point it's
is
just like,
like-
do you have cameras then?
Yeah, luckily she taped it and she was showing her bruises
Yeah.
and stuff.
He
afterwards.
touched her?
Yeah, he hit
The
her.
story
Her arm was
is she got in the car. She was in New York. She's not from New York.
Oh,
She came to New York and she was like, you are letting me off in the wrong place. She's trying to get off in Flatbush. But he let her off like
park
Prospect.
slow.
Yes.
Park slow.
slow.
Do you know how far that is?
You have
I
a
mean, if you're from
whole-
here,
how
you
many-
know, you
I
take
get
the
that
2 hour
Flatbush
vans.
runs through Park Slope.
$1 vans, but $2 vans.
You should know where you're
It's
going.
$2. $2, but it's $2.
It's $2.
Going up.
But Lee, continue.
And he let her off there. She was like, is this the right place? He's like, get out.
It's not my job to make sure you get to where you need to go. I was like,
But wait,
it is
no,
your
but, like,
job.
that's
You signed up.
That's the opposite.
TLC.
That is your job,
I'm like, even the
though.
dollar van driver knows this.
she was like, I'm paying you this amount, get me to here, and you picked up the.
He was mad. He was like, I'm gonna call the police. She raised her voice. The moment she raised her voice, because obviously If somebody tells you it's not their job to get you to where you're gonna go and they're a cab driver.
You just look at them sideways more so, and it's just like, what are we even having a conversation about? Nothing, because this is the agreement of me sitting in your car to get to my location, and I pay you for it.
Why am I even here?
I'm sorry.
I'm not just hanging out with you in your car. No. I'm here so you can get me where I'm going. Call the police on her.
Yeah.
And then she said, mind you, this is a black woman who is a Teen Vogue editor. So she knows people.
Okay, and maybe I should point out the fact she's a light-skinned black woman, but
she's light-skinned.
Just think about it. Imagine if she was darker.
This is awful.
I'm not gonna go there, but that is.
It would have been another story that just probably would have been swept under the rug, but because she is who she is in terms of like her prominence and influence with her job and just being like a part of like social media, a part of magazines, just being in the limelight to a certain extent, she was able to put the issue out there. But if it's anybody regular that unfortunately doesn't have access to all that influence,
absolutely,
it would have just been swept under the rug. It would have been another like.
And that's what she said.
Stories. Tell
so she, just to say like what happened to her, the only reason why this became a thing is because she knows she's in the journalism industry. She knows Ariana Huffington, who is one of the board members of Uber. So she was like, got a personal call from Ariana Huffington. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry, whatever. And that's what happened to fix this for her. But what she wrote, she was like, what can I do? I don't want to write about this because it's so negative. It's so, I don't even want to deal with this. But she was like, I have to write about it because so many other black women go through this who are darker, who are not known, who are not, don't have the platform of being a journalist or a writer or like in the social media world or whatever. So she's like, I have to talk about this story.
I appreciate her.
And I think that's wonderful because I 3 times at least have been assaulted. Not even I'm not even counting like the sexual advances. I'm just talking about violence. Just straight up violence. Just like get out. They stop and they tell me to get out. And I'm like, what is happening? I remember it wasn't even Uber, it was Lyft. Yes, we're calling you out. I don't care. It wasn't even Uber, it was Lyft.
Oh gosh.
The guy let me out. He was like, I can't. He picked me up in Queens and I was trying to go to work and he was just like trying to get on the BQE and he's like, I can't get on. Mind you, I've done this ride a million times because I lived there, and I was just like, yeah, I'm trying to get from my house to my place of work, which is also in Queens. And he was like, I can't go. Oh, I can't go. He's already riding me. He's like, I can't go. And he tries to let me off in the middle of the BQE. And I was just like,
what?
No, who is punking me right now? Like, this has got to be a joke.
What was the issue?
The issue was, he was like, he would have to go across the bridge and come back because he merged wrong. And so he tried to make it my fault.
But even if it's his fault and he can't even admit to it, why would you even let a woman, let alone just any person, get like off in the middle of the highway?
Why would you stop there?
Yeah, it's just like,
why would you pick me up?
That's unsafe not only for you, but a person in just their body not in a vehicle.
Do you not know what you're doing?
No, he doesn't know.
That was my question. But he was like, you're a customer, you're this and you're that.
Who the hell does this man deal with throughout the whole day?
Trying to tell me about, trying to tell me about myself, and I'm like, you're the person who tried to drop me off in the middle of the highway.
That was more of a vendetta against all customers, and you were the last blow. That's not.
My
I'm
issue
joking about
is that the moment if I was light or lighter skinned, the moment you speak out, the moment you say something back, it's taken with a lot more reverence. If you're a dark skinned or black person, this is just like from what I've seen, it's taken with a lot of resistance, and they're very hostile
And then you know what I was thinking about? A lot of people bring this point up in terms of, especially when they're talking about cops' facial profiling, is they kind of dehumanize you. They can't relate to you. You're less than them. You're less human than them. Whereas the person that look more like them, especially with the skin color, they can see their kids, their daughter, their cousin, their family members. With you, they can't see that, so they'll give you two craps. You understand?
Yeah, I would more so say that you have to take it instant by instant versus making like a general statement about it to a certain extent. Because like there's great experiences in rides, and then there's horrible experiences in rides depending on who you get, and even the time of day that you get them as well.
I've had great. This is not to say that I haven't had great cab rides, and it's not to say that like I will never get in a cab again. But
I've been with you, and we've had some really stuff that should have never happened.
Never happened.
Pardon my language. Please beat that. Like, what was time? One time we was out in Bushwick, and we were trying to get a cab, and they kept passing past us. And then when we finally got one, we were about to get in, and then out of nowhere, before he drove off, he kicked us out. You remember that?
If you can like describe where you came from in terms of like how your day went and you got into the car with the expectation.
No, we were happy.
Yeah.
It was not like we got in the car, we were being rowdy or we
no,
were
every single time I'm nice. I work in the service industry. Like I don't try to like crap on people who like pick me up and take. I'm not that kind of person. Like I'll talk. Sometimes I'm not really talking, but I'm not gonna treat you like garbage either. You know. So like I said hi to this man. I said hello. How are you doing? He didn't respond.
In terms of owning a business, you think about your clients. You put your clients first. You treat them with the utmost respect, and they should be first. So I am not willing to bend on this situation and look at it as in terms of what my day was like. What did I do wrong? How did I approach you?
Exactly.
Because one, you know us. We're very nice girls.
You put that stuff,
and we're proper.
if this is your job, you put that stuff to the side. Like you I go into work some days and I don't really
why
feel
would
like
you want to drive a taxi in New York when you don't like other races, other people? You don't want to be around people. Like why are you doing that?
I'm always like the, not to say that the devil's advocate, sometimes the angel's advocate to a situation in essence, but imagine us going to a situation too. I'm not giving excuses to anybody. Like always respect anybody at any given chance. Always like show kindness, because just like you're going through something, somebody else is going through something.
Right.
Just be courteous, be humane at most. But just be courteous. It's just like you're coming into work, respect somebody else because they're probably coming off from work while you're just getting on. You're just probably dropping them, or to work, however it may go. But the thing where I think we all lose it is just like we get so fed up in our movements and our daily like routines, and we're used to certain people who look. We just like the stereotype, and that's just a whole like, how can I say, society-based thing that has to change on a whole general level.
It's a societal problem.
It's a societal problem. It's a definite societal problem, and we have to really like take a more like, how can I say, microscopic look at ourselves and our actions and our emotions and understand
but which is why I'm saying I'm not the problem in that situation. Like,
no, you're not.
You understand what I'm saying? So
it's not fair, but then he's probably had such other crappy ass people before. But then at the same time, it's just like, who are you still to project your whole thing on a new person who's trying to come?
There was one instance where I was going to a doctor's appointment. And I was running late. The train was running late, and I was like, I'm gonna hop in a yellow cab. This is not any of the cab apps or whatever. This is New York City yellow cab. When I was in the cab, I tried to pay, and then at the moment where it was like decline, I was like, oh, I just came back from Thailand. So I called my bank, and they're like, oh, you didn't have your travel notice taken off. And I was like, oh my gosh. In the meantime, I was like to the cab driver, I don't know what's going on. And we called the bank, and he's very exasperated. He's just like, really? Like,
what's the time span on that? How long did it take for you to call the bank and stuff? Like, how long were you holding him up for?
Well, when we stopped, he was like, oh, before we stopped, he was like, I'm on your card right now, charge you right now. a block before, which was nice because it was metered. So it was like, okay, well, I don't have to pay the extra amount. You can run my card right now, drop me off, and I'll get out. Perfect. But then he did try to run my card, and it didn't work. It did not work. But then that week before, I had just come back from Thailand, like not even 4 days before, and I didn't take the travel notice off, and I made it for too long. So my bank declined my card because I was in the States. So I was like, I'm so sorry. And then he just is very exasperated. He's just like, I'm like, do you have like PayPal? Like, I will pay you personally. I don't care. Like, whatever I have to do. I'm sorry. It's totally my goof. But then what he said was, oh yeah, this always happens with you people. And I was just like, oh.
Okay, you see? For a moment, I was on his side. I was like, come on, Lee, you taking up his time.
You're not getting any money.
It was like, but once you say that, it's just like, all right, now you're showing your ass. You're showing your body.
You're showing your...
You see?
Racism.
And a lot of people, like...
So what's happening? You try and that, like, my first reaction was like, what do you mean, you people? Crazy?
Some people really just can't get over their bad experiences, or just their bad like shortcomings with certain situations. And I'm sorry, like our like how can I say, people from the Caribbean, people from America, like African Americans from down south or from wherever, like Africans, like we all get lumped into the same thing, but it's just like
black
if you don't decide to, black people, it's just like, but if you choose not to even understand where all of us come from individually, because we all are from different cultures in essence, even in our black culture. And if you as another culture, you can't respect that, it's just like, what are we even talking about? Just as you want a chance, I'm a human being, and at the end of the day, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to live, I'm trying to eat, I'm trying to get to my job or do my thing just as how you're doing it. It's just like, I'm not trying to do anything to harm you, so who are you to try to cause harm to me? And I'm just simply trying to get a ride, dude. I have no vendetta.
I'm just trying to
so don't try to, yeah, I'm like, don't try to project a certain situation or...
I know this one is a driver. She don't ride taxis as much, but being in the driver's seat, do you feel like driving while black? But you're a woman. Do you feel it? Do you feel a little bite sometimes that you say, hey, maybe if I was
driving while black,
I want to deal with this. I hate to say white, but maybe
WB.
Do you feel targeted? Do you ever feel targeted?
To be honest, I would have to say very sharply, not in New York.
Not in New York?
Not at all. Oh. There's been like maybe one time it was midday. I was rushing late to work, and I was stuck in traffic. Had on my shades, was just sitting there, had my hand on things just like this. I'm just like, all right, cool, whatever. And then it was because my windows were tinted that they pulled me over. So I'm just like, okay, I understand, but I'm not trying to cause harm to anybody whatsoever. I'm just like, I'll get that change, but can I just go?
It wasn't that dark either, too.
It was just dark. It was 0.5% darker. Like they did the test. They wasted time. They did everything. But that was that one time.
That wasn't even out of state experience.
Out of state. It's completely different. And I'm not even trying to be biased by saying that it's completely different. But it was a situation that even hurt me because I'm just like, I'm saying good morning. I'm letting you know that I have to use the bathroom. I understood I went maybe 5 to 8 miles over the speed limit at a certain interval, but I'm just like, dude, it's 5 to 8 miles. I could have gone 15 to 20, and I'm not trying to say I want to, but it's just like, oh, I could have been going a lot faster at 7 a.m. in the morning, but I just wanted to go to the bathroom off the highway in Michigan, and he pulled me over. But at the same time, I'm just like, hi, good morning. Is everything okay? And what did I do wrong? He's just like, do you understand that you were speeding in a work zone? I'm just like, okay, cool, I understand. but at the same time, somebody just went 20 miles and I went 8, and I hate to even do the blame game, but dude, mind me, I gotta pee.
Right?
But
always have to go high.
But in the end, it's just like he didn't hear that excuse. But once I stood out the car, I'm taller though. So when it comes to, I'm 6'1", so when I stand out the car, and then he felt a little bit threatened at that point, he was just like, ma'am, would you be able to, like, can you please sit in the back of my car? And I'm just like, okay. But
you were like,
who were you riding with?
I was actually riding with one of my Russian co-workers.
Did you feel like he talked to her a different way?
It was a guy.
It was a guy.
It was a guy. So to me, my assumption was just like,
did they have an interaction at all? And was
they had an interaction, but no, it was a worse interaction.
Okay. So maybe this is not that situation.
No. It was
maybe he thought y'all was fucking. He got mad.
Maybe, who knows what it was. There's so many. No, but there's so many aspects to the situation. You could look at it, but it's just like it's a Michigan cop that's probably not used to the dynamic of a black female with a New York accent from Brooklyn, and a Russian guy from Moscow. Even traveling throughout the state, you have out-of-state license plates, you're doing X, Y, like, it's just like what's happening in the situation. So you have a person that's used to a situation, and that's basically a closed-minded situation. Like, he's just to his society, his community, and that probably just goes to anybody who even projects whatever they project on you in these certain situations. It's just like, just closed-mindedness. So it's not only really the attack on racism, it's just the idea of just being completely closed-minded to somebody else just in a completely different situation than you are.
Okay, so before we wrap up today, we just want to leave our guest. Thank you, Christina, for being here, first of all.
Thank you for being here.
No problem, guys. I'm honored. Thank you. I appreciate you. Nah, for real, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Because today we're going to wrap up with the point that she was making. Maybe sometimes these are not always racial issues or racial biases in the ways that we get treated. But it comes to a conclusion. Us as humans as a whole need to have more empathy, sympathy, just need to work with each other with a cleaner slate, treat each other with respect.
And I understand.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you have your perspective, but like maybe try to see someone else's perspective too.
Thank you guys for joining us this week with
the weekly detox
with D and Lee.
Try that one more time.
Christina. Hey, okay, thank you guys for joining us this week with
the weekly detox
with D and Lee plus Christina, our special guest today.
Thank you guys.
So great to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
If you want to see more of this, please subscribe, like,
click
all the buttons,
hashtag everything,
at us, hashtag us,
and make sure you comment.
Like, hashtag open-mindedness.
Yes. Tell us what you think. If you've gone through this situation, or you know someone who's going through these situations, if you've ridden an Uber and you've always had amazing experiences, or if you just have a question. Awesome.
Join in. See you next time.
Take care, guys.
Riding a horse while a turtle. I don't know. I have a turtle.
That's my job.
That part is deleted.
She probably was, but that's my job too.